Well, good evening, everyone. Wanted to record a video. This is a quick update video. I ended up not doing anything on the boat Monday, Memorial Day. Just decided to chill out. I was really tired. Had done quite a bit of extensive work from Saturday and Sunday. So I just decided to take a day and just kind of chillax and not worry about it. So I came out on Monday and kind of discovered something that put me a little uneasy. When I first put this layer of bedding compound down, I did a large batch, probably around 12, close to 12 ounces. The second batch was probably around 8. The first batch went perfect. I piped it in. As you can see in the video, everything went great. The second batch was pretty much to make up just some of the small areas that I kind of missed or didn't have enough coverage. And I came out on Monday and looked, and unfortunately, the second batch that I made, I don't know if I just didn't mix it right. I could have sworn I put enough MEKP hardener in there, but it didn't work. So let me show you guys this really quick so you guys have an understanding of what I'm talking about. So if we come down here, I was looking, there's a hole right here. That's not supposed to be there. There's another one over there. That's not supposed to be there. So I was like, well, I'll just put a little bit of putty in there. And then, you know, when I go to fiberglass, it's at least got something to back it. Well, it's not set up. It's really gummy. So that means that essentially it did not cure. Why did it not cure? I don't know. Could have been I didn't mix it enough. Could have been that there wasn't enough catalyst in it. It could be a million different things. Now, this is pretty upsetting. Let's just be honest. I'm pretty upset about it. But the silver lining to this is I was going to probably have to come back and put a little bit more bedding compound down anyways. And the reason I say that is, let me show you this. If you see right here, okay, see how it's kind of wide down there and then it kind of thins out pretty. And then you got a lot of up here, but not down here. This is supposed to be a nice bevel here, right? Sorry, I'm really zoomed in. It's not, which means I could probably add some more in there. All it's going to do is make my life easier, okay? Because when I go to put in my 1708, not so much the CSM, it'll do a little bit of a radius, but 1708 is almost impossible to get it to do tight radiuses. It does not like it. It wants to pull up from the corner. So if you have a corner like this, it's going to want to pull up at the deepest part of that angle, you know? So unfortunately you have to really work on getting that fillet nice and rounded out so that it can lay in there nice and smooth and you don't have air pockets. So is it going to suck having to scrape all this up? Yes. If it is not mixed properly, there is probably some areas that cured quicker and harder and faster. And then some areas that just didn't get any catalyst at all. So, I mean, I felt, and I haven't felt very many spots that are that gummy as I just showed you, which is a good thing. I'm happy that that's the case, but I'm gonna probably have to do it anyways, but I'm gonna have to scrape it out, then go back over it with acetone, very, very, very good. And then continue the next layer of putty, make my fillets or my fillets really nice. And then from there, continue the entire process of laying up the fiberglass. I did come out on Monday and do one thing. I wanted to see how bad these stringers were inside of these boxes. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Up here, you have 2 boxes. That one right there is identical to this one. The only difference is I cut off the top. Well, the stringer runs directly through this box. And it's a flotation box, and I get why they did it. However, it's piss poor design. I'm going to show you why. When you look at the angle of this boat, this is a tri-hole. So here's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, and 3. This is a V. Okay? If water splashes anywhere up on the deck and manages to get over here, it comes down and it's going to pull right there. That's a V. So up this way is up that way is up. That means that the water is going to sit there and it's going to pull. So it was rotted right there. That tells me that's a horrible design, because I don't know how to negate that. That's the design of the boat. One of the options I have is to extend almost like a hollow spot, but keep the stringer here, but then just extend a piece of fiberglass and tie it into the hole, so that way water can't get trapped down here. Now, if it gets trapped up here, it can roll off. It's really not going to roll off here. It might pull and then find the path of least resistance, which is the bilge. But all of this has to be taken into consideration. This one is going to be a pain. And just one more thing real quick. Rotted here, then it turns pretty good. I mean, that's solid. So it's water intrusion here. I'd say to about there. That is all rotted. But then you get back here and it starts getting pretty solid. So then there's the other question of, how am I going to cut this stringer out? And that is the real, that's the real question. Back here, I can cut from this side all the way down. Once this box, I hit the edge of this box with my tool, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to try to cut all the way down. The front is pretty much gone. I can clear that out from this angle. But the rest of that is going to be an absolute nightmare to get out. So I'll call it a 14 inches or so. I could just take a mallet and smash the crap out of it, but I don't want to hurt the structure of the boat. So these are all things I'm going to have to figure out, unfortunately, but we're going to do it. There's no other thing here left but to figure out a solution and execute. So in closing, a few words. 1, this is an extremely laborious, arduous journey that I've decided to take. I'm not backing out. These are all little things that really aggravate the crap out of you, waste a lot of time, a lot of energy, in this case material, but it's all learning process. Every time I do something on this boat, the second time I do it, I get a lot better. Second of all, this is one of those things where there is no clear-cut solution on how to do any of this. I'm doing the best that I can with what I have and the knowledge I have. So it is what it is. I can get upset about it, I can get pissed off about it, but it is what it is. There's a learning curve to everything, and this is the price of entry. The third thing is, don't let roadblocks and issues stand in between you and something you want to do. If you want to do something, take it on. And one of the biggest inspirations that I had, that I'm not an idiot. I knew this was going to be a nightmare and a huge undertaking. But some of the inspiration I drew from was Project Poorcraft. It is a series that they're running on Tiny Boat Nation, and it gave me a lot of inspiration to do what I'm doing and do it the right way. But even he is running into like big issues with that restoration. He's getting ready to clear, well, he cleared out the stringers, but I mean, he's starting to find rot, and it doesn't matter what you do. it's going to have roadblocks. It's going to have things that are going to deviate you from the kind of time frame that you think you can accomplish something in. But that doesn't mean that it is impossible. It just means you have to have the wherewithal to stick through the ups and downs and the bumps and the questioning your thought process and questioning your decision making. But in the end, sometimes it's best just to take a minute and walk away. So that night, Sunday night, when I kind of figured out, I was like, oh wait, this is not good. This should have been set up. Why is everything else set up and this isn't? I mean, I mixed these 2 pots of putty within 10 minutes of each other. So they should have been very close. Between one was hard to the touch, the other one wasn't even remotely close to being hard. So I already kind of knew. So what did I do? I took Monday off. Okay, I get it. It adds time to the build. It aggravates you, but sometimes it's best just to go, okay, look, I'm gonna take a day off and think. And so that's what I'm doing. So there it is. There's your update for you guys. I will be picking up right where I left off on Saturday. I'm not sure what time. I've got some plans and stuff, but I'm just letting you guys know that this is the process, and want to bring you guys along for the ups and the downs, not just all the great stuff. So there it is, guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, please. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.